Welcome to the English Story Well channel, your ultimate destination for captivating stories that enhance your English learning journey. Here, we believe that stories are not just a form of entertainment, but a powerful tool to improve your language skills. Let's go to started.
Chapter 1: A Fresh Start. Emily had always been passionate about learning languages. Growing up in a small town, she was fascinated by the different sounds and accents she heard in movies and songs. However, despite her enthusiasm, Emily struggled with English speaking skills. She could read and write well, but when it came to speaking, she often found herself stumbling over words and feeling self-conscious. Determined to overcome this hurdle, Emily decided to take a new approach. She researched various methods and stumbled upon an intriguing new technique that promised to revolutionize her learning experience. Excited by the prospect, she decided to give it a try. Chapter 2: Discovering the New Method. The method Emily discovered was called the Immersive Conversational Approach, ICA. It was developed by a group of linguists and educators who believed that the best way to learn a language was through immersion and active conversation. The idea was simple. Instead of focusing solely on grammar and vocabulary, learners would engage in meaningful conversations right from the start. Emily signed up for an online course that used ICA. The course was designed to simulate real-life conversations, with interactive lessons that involved speaking with native English speakers. Each lesson focused on a different topic, such as ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or discussing hobbies and interests. Chapter 3: The First Lesson. Emily logged into her first lesson with a mix of excitement and nervousness. She was greeted by her instructor, Mark, a friendly native English speaker with years of teaching experience. Mark explained that the goal of the lesson was to have a natural conversation, without worrying too much about mistakes. "Today, we'll start with something simple," Mark said. "Let's talk about our daily routines. I'll go first, and then you can tell me about yours." Mark described his morning routine in a relaxed and conversational manner, using simple language that Emily could easily follow. When it was her turn, Emily hesitated for a moment but then began to speak. She made a few mistakes, but Mark gently corrected her and encouraged her to keep going. As the lesson progressed, Emily found herself becoming more comfortable. She realized that the key was to focus on communicating her ideas rather than trying to be perfect. By the end of the lesson, she felt a sense of accomplishment and was eager for the next session. Chapter 4: Building Confidence. Over the next few weeks, Emily continued her lessons with Mark. Each session covered a new topic, and she found herself becoming more confident with each conversation. The immersive approach helped her to think in English rather than translating from her native language. This made her responses more natural and fluent. One day, during a lesson about hobbies, Emily talked about her love for painting. Mark was genuinely interested and asked her more questions, which led to a deeper conversation. For the first time, Emily felt like she was having a real conversation in English, not just practicing phrases. This breakthrough gave her a significant boost in confidence. She started to participate more actively in class, asking questions and sharing her thoughts. Mark noticed her progress and encouraged her to practice outside of the lessons as well. Chapter 5: Real-World Practice. Taking Mark's advice, Emily decided to find opportunities to practice English in her daily life. She joined an English-speaking club at her local community center, where she met people from different backgrounds who were also learning the language. They would meet once a week to discuss various topics and practice their speaking skills. Emily also started watching English movies and TV shows with subtitles, gradually moving to watching them without subtitles. She listened to English podcasts and tried to mimic the pronunciation and intonation of the speakers. These activities helped her to improve her listening skills and pick up new vocabulary. One day, while shopping at a local market, Emily overheard a group of tourists asking for directions. She saw this as an opportunity to practice and offered to help them. To her surprise, she was able to give them clear and accurate directions in English. The tourists thanked her, and Emily felt a surge of pride and confidence. Chapter 6: Overcoming Challenges. Despite her progress, Emily faced some challenges along the way. There were times when she felt frustrated with her mistakes and doubted her abilities. However, she reminded herself that making mistakes was a natural part of the learning process. During one of her lessons with Mark, she expressed her concerns. Mark listened patiently and shared his own experiences of learning a new language. He told her that everyone struggles at some point, but persistence and practice are key to overcoming these challenges. Remember, Emily, Mark said, the goal is not to be perfect, but to communicate effectively. Keep practicing, and you'll continue to improve. Encouraged by Mark's words, Emily pushed through her doubts and continued to practice diligently. She reminded herself of how far she had come and focused on her progress rather than her mistakes. Chapter 7: A New Milestone. As months passed, Emily's speaking skills improved significantly. She could hold conversations on a variety of topics, and her pronunciation and fluency had greatly improved. She even started to notice that she was thinking in English more often. One day, Mark surprised her with a special challenge. He arranged a video call with one of his friends, Sarah, who was also a native English speaker. The goal was for Emily to have a conversation with Sarah without Mark's help. Emily was nervous but excited. When the call started, Sarah greeted her warmly and asked her about her interests and hobbies. To Emily's delight, the conversation flowed naturally. She was able to express herself clearly and confidently, and even asked Sarah questions about her own interests. After the call, Mark praised Emily for her performance. "You did an amazing job, Emily. You've come a long way since we started. I'm really proud of you." Emily felt a sense of accomplishment and realized that her hard work was paying off. She thanked Mark for his guidance and support, and they celebrated her progress together. Chapter 8: Sharing the Method. Inspired by her own success, Emily decided to share the ICA method with others who were struggling with English speaking skills. She started a blog where she documented her journey and shared tips and resources for learning English through immersion and conversation. Her blog quickly gained a following, and Emily received messages from people all over the world who were inspired by her story. She connected with other language learners and shared her experiences and advice. Emily also started a small online community where members could practice English with each other using the ICA method. They held regular video calls and group discussions, creating a supportive environment for everyone to improve their speaking skills. Chapter 9: The Power of Persistence. As Emily continued to help others, she reflected on her own journey. She realized that the key to her success was not just the new method, but also her persistence and dedication. She had faced challenges and setbacks, but she never gave up. One day, she received a message from a young student named Carlos, who was struggling with his English speaking skills. He had read her blog and was inspired by her story. Emily decided to mentor Carlos and guide him through the ICA method. They started with simple conversations, just like she had with Mark. Over time, Carlos's confidence grew, and he began to speak more fluently. Emily was proud to see his progress and felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing that she was making a difference in someone's life. Chapter 10: A New Beginning. Years passed, and Emily became a well-known advocate for language learning. She published a book about her journey and the ICA method, which became a bestseller. She traveled to different countries, giving talks and workshops to help others improve their English speaking skills. Despite her success, Emily remained humble and grateful for the support she had received along the way. She continued to practice and learn, knowing that the journey of language learning never truly ends. One day, while giving a talk at an international conference, Emily saw a familiar face in the audience. It was Mark, her first English instructor. After her talk, they reunited and reminisced about the early days of her learning journey. "Emily, you've achieved so much," Mark said with a smile. "I'm proud of you." "Thank you, Mark," Emily replied. "I couldn't have done it without your guidance and support. You believed in me when I doubted myself, and that made all the difference." As they parted ways, Emily felt a sense of closure and a new beginning. She knew that her journey was far from over, and she was excited to continue helping others achieve their language learning goals. Chapter 11: Paying It Forward. Emily's success story inspired countless individuals around the world. Her blog, book, and online community continued to grow, reaching more and more language learners. She received heartfelt messages from people who had overcome their own struggles with English speaking skills thanks to her guidance. One day, Emily received an email from a young woman named Aisha, who lived in a remote village. Aisha had limited access to language learning resources, but she had found Emily's blog and was determined to improve her English. Emily decided to take Aisha under her wing, just as she had done with Carlos. They started with regular video calls, practicing conversations on various topics. Aisha was eager to learn and put in the effort to practice every day. Emily provided her with resources and encouragement, helping her to build confidence and fluency. Over time, Aisha's English skills improved dramatically. She was able to secure a scholarship to study abroad, something she had always dreamed of. Emily was thrilled to see Aisha's progress and felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing that she had played a part in helping her achieve her goals. Chapter 12: Expanding Horizons. As Emily's influence continued to grow, she decided to expand her efforts to reach even more people. She collaborated with other language learning experts and educators to create comprehensive courses.